There is a small sound. It is soft. You hear water under your feet. The sound comes from the stones. The stones are old. They hide a secret. The secret is water. Venice is a city of water. This city sits on a group of small islands. The islands are in a big lagoon. The city looks like a map of canals and bridges. People call it the floating city. But Venice does not float. It stands on wood piles and stone. This is its great secret. It is a puzzle of engineering, born from human need and held together by time and tide. Listen closely as you walk through a quiet alley. A gentle lapping, a soft gurgle, seems to rise from the very ground you stand on. The air itself feels damp, carrying the scent of salt and ancient stone. This is the constant music of Venice, a reminder that the sea is not just around the city, but underneath it. Long ago, people came to the lagoon to find safety. They were fleeing the mainland. They needed a safe place, a refuge from the wars. They needed a refuge from the invasions that swept across Italy. The marshy, shallow islands of the Venetian lagoon offered that protection. An army on horseback could not cross the water. Large ships could not navigate the treacherous, muddy channels. Here, on these small patches of mud and sand, a new kind of community began to grow. They were people of the sea. They would build their home directly from it, using the resources around them in a remarkable way. They needed solid ground where there was only mud. The solution was simple but monumental. They drove tall trees, thousands upon thousands of them, into the soft earth. They used strong wood, alder. They used strong wood, oak. The trunks were sharpened to a point. They were hammered deep into the layers of mud and clay until they hit a harder, more stable layer of compressed clay below. The wood, submerged in the mud and deprived of oxygen, did not rot. Over time it petrified, turning almost to stone. This hidden underwater forest became the strong foundation for the city. On top of this vast network of wooden piles, the builders laid thick platforms of stone. Istrian stone, a dense limestone resistant to salt water. This stone layer created a solid base, a new ground level raised just above the high tide line. Life in Venice is different from life in other cities. The first thing a visitor notices is the absence of cars. No roaring engines, no traffic jams, no paved roads. Instead, the main thoroughfares are canals, the air filled with the chugging of boat motors and the calls of gondoliers. Boats are the primary means of transport for everything and everyone. Small motorboats, like delivery vans, bring goods, food, furniture, other supplies to shops and homes. Water taxis swiftly carry people. Ambulances and fire trucks are boats too, navigating the watery streets. The most famous boat is the gondola, a long, elegant black boat made for narrow canals. A single gondolier rows with one long oar, standing at the back in a traditional striped shirt. Once main transport for wealthy Venetians, today gondolas are mostly for tourists. A romantic, quiet tour, sometimes accompanied by a song. For daily commuting, locals use vaporetti, the public water buses. Larger boats follow set routes along the Grand Canal and around the outer islands, just like a bus system. Children learn a different set of rules. The buildings of Venice tell stories of wealth, faith, artistic genius. The city was once a powerful maritime republic, a center of trade between Europe and the East. This history is etched into the very stones of its palaces and churches. Along the Grand Canal, magnificent palazzi stand side by side, their ornate facades facing the water. These were the homes of rich merchants, designed to display their status. Its domes and arches show a strong Byzantine influence. Next to it, the Doge's Palace. It is a vast, open space surrounded by stunning architecture. Venice has always been a muse for artists. Masters like Titian, Tintoretto, and Veronese filled the city's churches and palaces with their dramatic and colorful works. A skilled artisan in a small workshop might be crafting intricate glass on the island of Murano, a tradition passed down through generations. It is a city that invites you to slow down, to look closely, and to appreciate the artistry that is woven into every stone and every waterway. The same water that gives Venice its unique beauty can also bring danger. The city regularly experiences floods. Locals call it acqua alta, meaning high water. Not a flash flood from rain, but a slow, steady rise of the sea. The floods that Venice has endured for centuries are now becoming worse. Scientists have clear evidence this is due to multiple factors linked to climate change. Sea level is rising as the planet warms. Polar ice is melting. Ocean water is expanding. The baseline for high tides is higher than a century ago. Floods become easier. Venice is also sinking. Subsidence. The double effect closes the gap between city and sea. Tourism adds pressure. Waves erode building foundations. Massive cruise ships once entered the lagoon. That practice is now restricted. Pollution harms the lagoon's ecosystem. A healthy lagoon, salt marshes, seagrass beds. These absorb tide and wave force. Restoring nature is as crucial as repairing buildings. The most ambitious preservation effort is a massive system of underwater floodgates called moats. This project consists of 78 enormous steel gates placed at the 3 inlets where the Adriatic Sea enters the lagoon. When a dangerously high tide is predicted, these gates can be filled with air and rise from the seabed, forming a temporary barrier to hold back the sea. It is a monumental feat of engineering, but it is not a perfect solution and requires constant maintenance. Beyond this massive project, countless smaller efforts are underway every day. Museums are developing new ways to protect precious art from the damp environment. Scientists are constantly monitoring sea levels, subsidence rates, the health of the lagoon. Local people are at the heart of this preservation effort. They keep the city a living community, not just a tourist park. They pass down the stories and skills that make Venice unique, teaching the next generation to be stewards of their extraordinary home.